Good morning, everyone. My name is Julie, and I am the owner and founder of Lady Faltey's Apothecary. We are here this morning to talk about our weekly astrology forecast. So this is what I like to call the Cliff Notes version. So, you can get your own zodiac reading like every day. There's apps. This is just an easy way to give you the basic energies for each day, kind of let you know what might be going on, what days to plan events, what days not to plan events, things that might be challenging, things like that. So I started doing this for myself years and years ago because I wanted to know what days Mercury was going to be coming up. And so I was working on my throat chakra. I think I'll probably always be working on my throat chakra, but working on my throat chakra. And I wanted to know what days Mercury might be involved. And then I thought, well, if it's helpful for me, maybe it'll be helpful for someone else. So we'll just smudge a little bit here. So some for you guys. And some for me. All right, I'll just put that over there to burn. And before we get started here, I'll pull the card for the week. So there was no video last week. I was having major computer issues. So sorry. It just didn't happen. But the week before, the card was A Blessing of the Waters. So we'll get that back in the deck and shuffle those up and see what we get for this week. I hope everybody had a good holiday. Got to spend some time with family and friends. All right. A blessing to lift sadness. We get this one quite a bit. So speaking of the holidays are not always happy for everybody. It can bring up a lot of memories of family members or friends that have passed, traumatic events that happened during the holidays, people that don't have a big circle are feeling lonely during the holidays. So just remember that. And if you have a neighbor or somebody that you know that doesn't really have a big family or a lot going on during the holidays, like I'm not saying you have to invite them to your house for the holidays, but make them some cookies or just send them a Christmas card, something like that will just maybe lift their spirits a little bit. So anyway, I'll get a picture of this up on the Facebook group page, which is Lady Faltey's Light Healers. So if you want to see the card in the write-up, you can head on over there. If you're not a member, just click in. There's like 3 easy questions, and it'll let you write in. So if not, I get a message that says I need to approve somebody, and I just approve everybody until you give me a reason not to, which hasn't happened. So, all right, let's jump right in here. All right, today, full moon in Gemini. My plan is to come live again later today to do the full moon video. I'm not sure if that's going to happen directly after this one or later this afternoon. I have a couple appointments today, so just depending on where time is and what's going on. But I will be back sometime today to do a second video for you about the full moon. So I'll go over in detail a little bit more of the energies, the meaning of the full moon, and then some things that you could use during this full moon to use for tools, use for, helping you out, things like that. So anywho, for today's video, full moon in Gemini. Gemini are the people who like to ask questions. They always want to know who, why, when, how come, how much, what for. But they make really great conversation people. And because they ask so many questions, they are, usually fairly knowledgeable people. Doesn't mean they're necessarily smarter than anyone. they're just usually, they like to ask a lot of questions, and so they tend to hold a lot of knowledge. So today would be a good day, for well, we'll go into all that, but there could be some intense communication going on. So keep an open dialect, keep an open mind, um, practice patience today. And again, I'll go into it a little bit more. Um, Express your thoughts, but choose your words when you're doing that, okay? And use logic and use your intuition. So those are all things, like I said, we'll talk about it a little bit more in depth in the other video later on this afternoon. But today's color is cream, and I picked some azurite just to stay focused, because really that is going to be the key of this full moon, is you being focused. There's going to be a lot going on, and there's a lot of planets involved and a lot of stuff involved, and it's going to be challenging. But really, if again, this is the point of these videos, is to have you in the know and understand what's going to happen and be prepared, not to freak you out and not to scare you. It's going to be challenging. All right. And so the key is going to be you being focused. So, all right. Tuesday, tomorrow, Gemini moon, in tension with Mercury. So again, communication challenges could be coming up. Potential conflicts could be coming. Tension in the air because of that miscommunication and conflicts and stuff like that. So there could be some tension. Would be a good idea to either burn some incense or, do a little smudging tomorrow. Actually, any day, but today and tomorrow would be really good idea to do that. And again, I just wrote being open-minded, being patient. Don't be impulsive. Don't jump to snap decisions. Don't be judgmental, because again, there's going to be some conflict, and that's all going to be around miscommunication and communication being very challenging. So remember that when somebody says something that maybe sets you off or causes some conflict, tension, think about, like, is this a person that I normally have this problem with? Is this person somebody that we normally argue? And if not, then you can probably figure that it's the energy of the day, because you're feeling the energy, but so are they. So we have to remember that too. Like, even if we're tense and maybe moody and a little because again, conflicts and miscommunications, other people are feeling that as well. So again, that's where that being open-minded and being patient is for you. All right. Tuesday's color is light green, and I picked some sodalite. Pretty much anytime Mercury is at play, just carry sodalite with you. I'd wear a dress made of it if I could stand up. But yeah, some sodalite is good for communication, so you can work with some of that. All right, Wednesday, the 29th, moon moving over into Cancer. So we're going to move over into Cancer, which is a little bit more, and I was writing this, I'm like, I don't want it to sound negative. We're moving over into being more emotional and more sensitive. And that is not meant to be as a negative thing, that we're sensitive. Oh, she's so sensitive, right? Sensitive and being in touch with our emotions and heightened emotions is a very good thing. We just don't always want to tap into that, and we don't want to deal with our emotions. We don't want to be in touch with our emotions. It takes up so much time, right, in our busy lives, and we have other things to do than deal with our emotions. But yeah, it's a good day to really sit with your emotions and feel your emotions, work through anything that might be coming up for you. working on letting it go, and working more towards things that you desire. And if the intense emotion that you're feeling is excitement or joy, happiness, then like, great, that's awesome. But if it's not, and you're working more with the, being sad, lonely, angry, jealous, um, we are given those emotions for a reason. They are to keep us safe. They are to keep us, in a good place, but we don't want to drown in them. We don't want to just sit in there and, um, you know. So, anyway, it's a good day to engage in some self care. So, this is Wednesday. So, some self care would be a really good time. Like, book a massage, go get a pedicure, get your hair done, get your nails done, take a nice long hot bath, sit in your jammies all day and drink tea, like whatever it is that makes you happy. Go shopping, whatever. But do a little plan Wednesday to do some self-care, some pampering for yourself. It would also be a really good time to prioritize spending time with family, friends, or loved ones. Again, so if you have somebody that you can maybe make a lunch date with, or if you're going to go shopping, somebody come with you, whatever that may look like for you. Have people over for dinner, but just self-care, and surround yourself with people that make you happy and that you love. Um, Embrace any opportunities that might come along on Wednesday as well for you. And again, I already mentioned this, but kind of letting go of the past. So if something is coming up, for you emotionally wise, that is not in the positive aspect, so to speak, work on letting that go, moving forward, seeing, you know, I, I don't want to ramble too much here, but I believe in people get, I believe things happen for a reason, and everything is a lesson that we're either going to learn or we're not going to learn. And if we don't learn it, we're going to repeat it until we do learn it. And so, you know, something may have happened to you in the past that has made you angry or jealous or sad, whatever the feeling may be. And if you don't learn the lesson in it, you're going to repeat it, right? You see these people that like, why does this always happen to me over and over and over again? Because you're not learning the lesson that's there for you. Um, so, and I find a lot of times in that process of picking it apart, maybe, and sitting with it and figuring out what was the lesson, what was I supposed to learn, what was the benefit of this, because there is a benefit. Whatever we go through, there's a benefit. Sometimes does it outweigh? Maybe not, but there is a reason for it. There's a benefit for it. There's a lesson in it. And I think a lot of times when we figure that out, it makes letting go of whatever it was a little easier for us. Like, wow, there was something positive that came out of it. Oh, there was a benefit out of it. Oh, I did come out of there learning something, being a better person, being more open-minded, being better communicator, being better, whatever it is. And it makes, I think it will make it easier to move past that. So, anywho, rambling. Wednesday's color is royal blue, and I picked some blue lace agate. It says find your calm. So kind of like in that, like learning that lesson, finding that spot where you're like, oh, that's what happened. That's why that happened. Oh, I get it now. And just kind of finding that spot where you're like, oh, okay. Oh. All right, Thursday, November 30th, end of the month already. So we're still in a Cancer moon, and it's in harmony with Uranus. So that's going to bring up some desire for change. So you may be open-minded to some new ideas or new experiences, doing something differently. That whole like, oh, I've done it this way 500 years and it works. Well, great, but there's a better way or a faster way or an easier way um, that doesn't maybe cause you stress or headache or time. Um, anyway, you get the point. So be open to new ideas and new ways of doing things. Explore new things. Like just try it. And if it doesn't work, go back to the other way. Or maybe you're like, okay, well, this worked really well out of this way, and this worked really well out of this way. So I'm going to like see if I can make those work together. So figure it out, right? But you have to be open to other possibilities for that to even happen. So yeah, I just wrote down avoid resistance, right? So just try things, and see what happens. You might really, really like things, you know. Um, I pick on my husband a lot, but that's because he's my person and that's who I'm spend most of my time with. But for the longest time, I had a really hard time getting him to try new foods. And finally, he started, because I kept at him, nagging and nagging and nagging at him. He finally gave in and started trying some different stuff. And he was like, I could have been eating this all along. So he realized that, trying new things was not horrible. And again, he tried things that he didn't like. He didn't like everything I've asked him to try. But you know, be open to new things and see what happens. You might find that you find something you really like. So, all right. So Thursday's color is yellow, and I picked some phantom quartz, and it just says embrace change. So just be open to the change. See what happens. Good morning, Mike from Detroit. All right, so December 1st. Yep. So Mercury is entering Capricorn. So there's that Mercury again. That sneaky little Mercury. It's in there all the time. All right. So Mercury enters Capricorn. So what do we know about Capricorn, right? Capricorns are very analytical, they're successful, they're driven, they're passionate, they're successful. And again, when I use the word successful, that doesn't mean they drive a Porsche and wear a three-piece suit. It means whatever their goal is, they are successful at it. If they're going to be a hairdresser, they're going to be the best hairdresser around. If they're going to be a farmer, they're going to be the best farmer around. If they are going to be a plumber, whatever, it doesn't have to be an office job. It could be, agricultural. It could be some sort of service. Whatever it is they choose to do, they're going to be very, very good at it. So that's what I mean by success. So when I say success, doesn't mean they're loaded with money and drive fancy cars. Okay. Success is whatever you decide to do, you achieved it. But anyway, back to Mercury in Capricorn. Again, practical, responsible, great at gathering information, learning things. They're very passionate about whatever it is they choose to be successful at. They, will pursue it until they have learned everything they can learn, and then probably even still past that, because there's always something else to learn. They do tend to be open-minded. So they want to know, again, they're similar to Gemini and similar to Sagittarius, who wants to know all the things about all the things, right? So, the one side, well, there's always another side to every side, is they can be a little pessimistic. So just be aware of that. So, not getting to like, oh, that's too hard. I can't do that. That will take forever. No, Capricorn will push through. So, but they can be a little pessimistic. So just keep that in mind. All right. So again, it should be, as far as communication wise, it should be a very good day. Not anything to worry about. So that Mercury aligned with the Capricorn of, again, being successful and driven and responsible, shouldn't really be anything to worry about. So Friday's color is sky blue, and I did pick some garnet. So if you have something that you're passionate about, Friday would be a really good day to work on whatever you need to work on to get there. Um, Maybe it's going back to school. Maybe it's a whole new career or job. Maybe it's a whole new, I don't know. Maybe it's just a little side business. Maybe that's your big goal, is that you want to just run a little side business, whatever. Everything looks different for everybody. So whatever it is that you're passionate about that you want to do, Friday would be a good time to work on that for you. So, all right, Saturday, still Mercury in harmony with Saturn. Enhanced focus, mental clarity, um, concentrate on tasks. So again, similar to the Capricorn energy. So good for planning, good for analyzing things, good for, just making your lists and getting things done. So again, should be not anything to worry about as far as communication goes. Should be a very good day for that as well. So the color is off white. And I picked some clear quartz, and it just says get crystal clear. So just that mental clarity, enhanced focus for you. All right. So finishing up for Sunday, December 3rd, Venus is in tension with Pluto. So Venus is all about our socializing. It's about love. And so with it being in tension with Pluto, there could be some intense emotions that may not necessarily be in the most positive light. So just again, remember to be open with your communication, be patient, just take time. If somebody says something and you're like, what the? Don't just judge, don't get angry, don't snap to decisions, don't snap at them. And if you do, you're human, we do those things. But we can own up to it and apologize, right? But try to just take a step back and try to just think again, like, is this normally how things go with us for communication? Is this normally something this person would say? And just kind of think about it for a minute and think about, okay, like how would I react in a way that's not coming back as being snippy or judgmental or adding fuel to the fire? What can I do to kind of be like, and again, a lot of times just be like, I'm sorry, could you say that again? And not in a snippy, like, and again, if you know the person, and their triggers and their things that set them off, then incorporate that in your communication style. That's a big thing as well. Knowing your own communication style is super important, but also knowing how other people communicate as well can be very beneficial when things like that happen. So if you know somebody who kind of just, when they are upset, they kind of shut down, sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. And I'm rambling here again. If they shut down because they just don't know how to start the conversation, sometimes you just starting it can be very helpful. Other times, some people just want to go, they want to recoup, they want to gather themselves, and then they're ready to come back and have that conversation. So if that's the case, like, give them that time, So again, understanding how people communicate can be beneficial for you as well. So, all right. So again, could be some intense emotions. So just be open as much as you can for your communication. Be a little vulnerable, open yourself up a little bit. Sometimes that makes a big impression on people, a big step. If you can be a little vulnerable, then they can be a little vulnerable too. So, and it's also going to be a really good day to focus on, how to say this, the transformation in your relationships around communication. So again, everything happens for a reason. So if we're taking that into effect here, all right, so what is going on? What is the conflict? What is the tension? What is the miscommunication? And how can we solve that? How can we fix this? How can we make it better? Right? And so there is your lesson in there. So you can work on that transformation of that. So maybe the next time something like that for energy comes up, or just in life things happen, and those kind of conversations happen, you already have a, like, okay, I know this person likes to communicate in this style, and so we're one step ahead already, and then then you can maybe learn another thing, and eventually your communication gets better. That is the hope, right? So that with every little miscommunication, it gets better, not worse. And that's where ego comes in play, and the I have to be right and you have to be wrong. Or, I'm not going to be blamed for anything, so I'm going to blame you for everything. Those things are not helpful, right? So we want to, how can we make this communication better? How can we make this problem easier to solve? So that's your transformation. So in that, I picked some malachite, which says it's time to transform. Oh, and Sunday's color is orange. So, all right. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's video. And like I said, I will plan on coming back live. It's 10:30, so I think I will have time to just log off and log back on and do the next video before my appointment comes. And so yeah, I'll see you in just a few minutes. But if you don't hop on for the other video, then I will see you guys all here same time next week, 10 o'clock Monday morning, right? Yeah. So 10 o'clock Monday morning for our weekly astrology forecast. If something in this video was helpful for you, please give me a thumbs up or a like, or tell me what it was in the comments. Just say hi, tell me where you're from. Like Mike is in Detroit. Very cool to know that somebody from Detroit has popped into my little video here. And also, again, if you think it's been helpful, and you think maybe it'll be helpful for a friend, family, coworker, whatever, please, pass it along and share. And hopefully, they'll get something beneficial out of it as well. So, all right, guys. So I will see you either in just a few minutes, or I will see you next week. And I hope, again, something in this video is helpful for you. And I hope that you had a good holiday. And and I hope you are kind. Again, kindness goes a long way, right? And it doesn't cost us anything. And it could potentially change your life for the better. So thanks for watching, guys. Love you. Bye.